Okay guys, so we're doing another one of these I guess cooking videos, and per the title of this video it says cook and catch, and that's because we're cooking before we catch anything, because there's no guarantee we're going to catch anything. But fun fact, to the people who followed me out of my local hometown and honked at me and hollered at me, I appreciate you, because apparently this rod, which I had it tied, there was no hook, no nothing, I had it tied to the reel, apparently had come blown free, and I despooled that whole rod on the way here. So that being said, we're gonna do some channel cat fishing, maybe some carp fishing while we cook. We're gonna enjoy that beautiful sunset as always. Let's get into it. Channel cat fishing, all right? So we're using chicken liver for bait. The chicken liver has earned a reputation as something that, you know, flies off the hook if you even sneeze at it. It's pretty accurate, honestly. So the question comes, how do you keep the bait on the hook and still get distance? Well, my response, at least the last few years anyway, has always been use sewing twine. A lot of guys use pantyhose. I'm not a fan of the pantyhose method. Nothing against it. Me personally, I'd rather do what I'm doing here. The only con to it is if you don't take the twine and stuff off immediately after you're done fishing, and you get that, and that can get in the way. But make it work. So you take your chicken liver and you put it through that hook as many times as you can. Now this is a really small hook. This is the dedicated channel cat hook. You take your piece of sewing twine and you just grab, you don't tie this, you don't knot this or anything, you grab it at the top of the eye and you just start wrapping it around the chicken liver and the hook, making sure that you don't cross over, you know, the barb to interfere with the hook set. And what this does is it allows me to cast it farther, and it also makes it harder for them little guys to tear it off of the hook. So normally I don't ever run the bait clicker because I'm typically watching the rods, but in this particular instance where I'm going to be actually trying to cook, run a bait clicker. There's always a chance, and it's better to just not take the chance of losing a very expensive setup versus, you know, taking a gamble. Let's start cooking. Alright, so note to self, while this provides a killer view, terrible place to try to cook, holy cow guys, but we did get everything fixed up. So we got our steaks right there, which you'll see me prep a whole thing here in a second. Got our beans right here that are still piping hot, and I did spill grease on my truck. We'll approach that when we get to it. Now, in the world of grilling steaks, that is acceptable by my standards. This, not really. But you do what you can with what you got. There you go, guys. You got a little bit of steak, a little bit of beans, and you got a sunset. Still ain't got a fish yet. Be a lot cooler if we did. One thing I like about the mess kit when it comes to cooking beans is you get that little bit of burn in the bottom of them. And you know, some people don't like that. I love it. I like that little bit of char. I primarily came out here today because follower, supporter, viewer, whatever you want to call them, had told me they've been fishing here and they just hadn't been catching fish. And this used to be my stomping ground. I used to do relatively good here. So I kind of wanted to see what was going on down here. So far, his claims are accurate. Also, I don't know who put this here, but whoever you are, you have my 100% approval. If you look around, guys, like there's trash, 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 trash. This is where I grew up fishing, man, and it never used to look this bad. Take your crap with you when you leave, all right? Just like all my stuff here, it all goes back with me. I keep these bags right here just for that occasion. It takes 2 minutes to clean up the mess that you made. So whoever put that there, I give you a huge thumbs up. Pick up your trash, don't be trashy. So I'm still not entirely sure what to call these. But I would be lying if I said I wasn't enjoying them. I think it's quite fun. Go outside and cook in a random place. I can get down with it. So I will say this much, and I have no data to back this claim up whatsoever. From what I understand, typically like right after a spawn, that's when things pick up. Our spawn ended a couple weeks ago, but I don't hear very many people catching a lot of fish. And that's day, night, early morning. I don't hear it a lot. And I have a theory that's where we're in the dog days of summer. Now there's a thing called thermocline. Now that typically affects reservoirs, but I'm sure it can have some form of an effect on rivers as well, even though, you know, we're moving water compared to a reservoir that's just holding and retaining water. But long story short, I think the water is too hot for the fish to be insanely active. And I may be completely off my rocker with that, but it's been my experience when the water gets a little cooler, so typically around October, that's when the bite really picks up. It's like in any fishing thing, really, it's a tournament or you're fishing for fun, it takes one fish to change the tide of a whole evening. Since we're not exactly setting the world on fire on the catfish side of things, I do have this ultralight with me. A few jig heads. This is my trout rod though, so you know, if I hook into anything that's worthwhile, it's going to be interesting. But no, we'll give this a shot for a little bit. I do think it's time to check bait though. I have been wrong. Like I said, it helps. It's not foolproof. Yep. Alright, both of them pigs lane. We gotta start over. That's a good thumbnail. But I hate to say it. I think we're gonna chalk that one up to the fish. So, guys, that being said, like I said, I seek all of your inputs on these kind of videos. The way I see it is, if nothing else, I get a lot of cool shots. You guys get to see a lot of cool stuff, beautiful state, beautiful views, and you get to see me cook stuff that my little mess kit probably has no business trying to cook. But let me know if you guys want to keep seeing more and more videos like this. I like doing them. I'm enjoying this. I'm gonna pack up and get to the house before it gets pitch black. Guys, I said it before, I'll say it again. Please pick up the trash. See, my trash bag is sitting right there. There's no reason to trash up a fishing spot.